This episode on Sailing Popao, we put some serious miles under our keels.
Sail sucks. We've set up the indoor helm for the night. You almost sound like a sailor, Michael, like you're enjoying this sail.
And island hop our way south for the season. Well, after an amazing 2 days at Myrmidon Reef, we are heading off today. We finally got a forecast last night on the phone and it's going to blow up a little bit from the east. Probably going to be motoring most of the day today, so we're going to do one huge tack around the reef. We're going to stick to the outside so we get the extra current, and once we feel our east come up, chuck a right hand turn and go south to Airlie hopefully. And we're leaving the reef in the dark, which is not great, but
only got one bommy to clear, so
yeah, we're going to follow our tracks out of the lagoon around the buoy, and then yeah, we should be pretty sweet. So not ideal, but we've done it a few times now in the tender, and yeah, we'll just go slow and use the torch.
Doing our biggest passage yet so far. It's 156 nautical miles. Yeah, about 24 hours, 26 hours total I think it's going to be. We average about 6 knots. We've currently got the wind pretty much as close as we can get it already, which is not ideal. So we're just motor sailing a little bit just to get to the turning point, so when it really blows hard from the east, we can still sail down to Airlie Beach. So yeah, we're just hugging the continental shelf now, skipping. We're actually outside all the reef, so we've got a nice current with us, and then we'll tack in there.
Tide change.
Right on tide change. So I'm holding the rod upside down. I do know that because the runner's got a crack in it. So if the rod sits the other way,
you're gonna have fun reeling that in upside down,
awkward.
Backwards with your left hand.
Maybe sideways.
Oh, this is too funny.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
You want me to reverse it up?
No.
What do you reckon it is?
Sure. Probably a mac tuna, staying deep.
Oh, I really want a dolly. It'd be jumping though usually, wouldn't it?
Mac tuna. Mac tuna.
Doggy.
Grab the leader, don't gaff it. Striped tuna. Take that.
Well, that's bloody disappointing.
Digits, 99.9 nautical miles to go. 58 and 8:42, not too bad. Just got to go over some shoals, got the rods out, and the water is crystal clear. 60 nautical miles. We've caught one striped tuna that we released.
Pretty uneventful motor sail. It's just been a very nice passage so far. We've just been doing a little bit of fishing, although I'm pretty disappointed in the lack of fish that we've caught so far. We've only got a striping, and I've been having a nice little read on this book, which makes me want to go sail the Mediterranean.
Why, do you want to pillage all the red coral?
Yeah, it's about all the red coral over in the Med that they just basically destroyed diving, but it's all about this guy's life and his upbringing around the ocean, and yeah, just really
cool. Gave us that book.
G banger. So thanks, G. We've been doing 2-hour watches just to keep us, like, you know, something to look forward to, and it's been really good. It's gone so fast, and yeah, I don't know. It's just life-changing having that telepilot. It is crazy easy doing these longer passages. There's a discrepancy in the charts between two different ones we used, and this is meant to be land. Came out to make sure we weren't going to land on land, and there's a pot of dolphins waiting for us. Look at them. That's awesome. We were just saying we haven't seen anything today. Oh, and they've bailed. They just bailed.
Not interested at all. The most unfriendly dolphins ever.
This sail sucks. We haven't seen anything.
They just bailed. They didn't even come have a look. There they are there. They're busy eating.
They must have been having a nap. How we travel, Michael?
We just passed the halfway mark. So we've done 82 nautical miles in about 12 and a half hours. We've got pretty much the same again to go.
But we're about to turn right, which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
We're waiting all day to turn and have the wind on the beam. And there's no wind. We've got 3 knots of true wind.
So we're on the home stretch now. We're just coming through this last little reef pass. Current is about 1.5 knots straight behind us. And we are just screaming along. We've got one engine on, doing almost 9 knots. And we've got the sails out. We're still pretty close to the wind. But I think it'll be better once we get out of there. Yeah, 9 knots and that current screaming. And this is what we're dealing with out here. Flat as... Ooh. It's on the edge of the green zone, trying to pick up a last minute bit of dinner, but that water, I don't know if it's because it's the reef finfish closure or the coral spawn or everything, but it is filthy. It is no Myrmidon, that's for sure. Going along, you can see that current here.
Green flash, I'm ready for you. Let's do it. And it's just green because your eyes burn.
Green. Oh yeah.
Can you hear that, Michael?
It's a nice sound, isn't it?
We are finally sailing.
Just sailing. We were motor sailing all day. We're just getting that little bit extra just to get ahead of the wind. I think we did alright.
Well, we've pretty much timed it perfectly because we only just turned south about an hour ago and now that easterly started to puff up. And we've got about 8 to 10 knots of wind true. And yeah, we're just cruising along pretty slow, about 5 to 6 knots at this stage, but I do expect that wind to pick up a little bit. But it is so nice to have the engine off. Anyway, we've set up the indoor helm for the night. I'm sitting on a big pile of cushions so I can see out the window. And got some music which I can't play because I'll get copyright infringements. And yeah, just chilling here, got the radio on scan, good to go. It's been a pretty good night sail so far. Michael's getting ready for bed. I'm on the graveyard shift, 11-ish to about 1:30. And I really can't show you much because it's dark outside. Got 10 knots of wind, doing 6.5 comfortably. Beautiful sail.
Beautiful. Finally, we got a good one.
We've had 2 shockers and this is our 3rd night sail. that we're actually loving. Anyway, probably check in when we get to Airlie.
Well, we've made it. First full 24 hours of sailing, 154 nautical miles. I'm sure one day we'll look at that number and go, remember when we saw 154 nautical miles and thought it was big? But, yeah.
So, just having a Bailey's and warm milk to wind down after the sail. Michael,
Cheers.
give us some
100.
spat. Give us some
spats. 154.6 nautical miles we just did. 24 hours, 27 minutes and 14 seconds. Average speed 6.3 knots. Pretty good.
We just, it always comes back to 6 knots, doesn't it?
6.3. It's not bad. I mean, we motored a bit, but
We motored most of the way, really.
but we did that. So that's 154 nautical miles. We used about, what,
50 litres.
50 litres of fuel? Pretty amazing. This thing.
Yeah, life changer. Absolute life changer.
Can you imagine? The other passages we did like that, we were just like taking 2 hours like this, steering, looking at the screen.
And you wondered why I had a dummy spit in the end.
That's just... so good. I'm gonna sleep like a rock.
Yep. Oh, well, cheers. Hot toddy.
That's our longest passage yet.
Easy, except for the early hours when I started to see things.
Jessie was hallucinating. She woke me up like an hour early. We need to pull the sails down. We're coming into Pioneer Bay. We're like at the front of it, like miles away.
I couldn't judge anything.
We sailed for another 40 minutes before we even
Yeah.
thought about taking the sails down.
Yeah, well. Anyway, time for bed.
After a quick supply stop in Airlie Beach, we were on our way to maximise our use of these Northerlies to get south. Our next stop was to meet up with our friends on Selkie in Happy Bay, just around the corner.
Quite nice.
This beautiful stop was another heartbreak story, with an abandoned resort left for nature to overtake.
Drunk now. You're a dino eye.
Good.
Dan. Actually, who's this?
Who's this? Oh, good pet. Look how friendly he is. This would have been a really nice resort at one stage. Such a shame. So many places like this in Queensland.
Where are we? Happy Bay. At the abandoned resort.
Not so happy resort.
There you go.
Thank you. What's going on, Michael?
I was just talking to Lincoln on sailing wind gypsies. He said, "Oh, have you got the tide against you?" And he's obviously just in Cairns, just got a little notification on his marine traffic that we're moving.
Oh,
So
he's such a
he's a
stalker.
stalker. You're a stalker, Lincoln. Yeah, we're just coming through the little, I don't know what they call this passage.
I think it's Mole Passage.
I don't know if it's still Mole Passage. That's Long Island there, and that's the mainland.
It'd be fun if the tide was with us, but it's currently against us. But we had no wind, so it's a bit of a toss-up, and we don't have enough wind anyway. So.
We either leave really late
Or
and
really,
get there in the dark, or leave in the dark and get there in the middle of the day. So
we opted for the sleep in.
we just sleep in and just put up with it. There's hardly any wind anyway, so...
We'd be motoring either way. Might as well do it well slept instead of grumpy.
Yeah, so anyway, pleasant enough.
What's happening with our steering right now?
Oh, it's correcting, but the current's like eddying back there. You can see it right there.
I felt the boat like do a 180 almost.
Just aiming for the beach for a little bit, but it fixes itself.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you can see we're just coming down between these two islands now. Or that's the mainland and that's the little island. Just about to come through the narrowest part of it now.
Might be slow. Far out, it is so quiet and peaceful right now. That's Shore Island. We're doing about 4 knots, but it's dead still.
Bit of a change of plans, Michael.
Change of plans, winds come up. We're absolutely flying along at like 7.5 knots now, so we're just going to keep punching it.
Look how much happy you are. You've got a big grin across your face.
Oh, it's awesome when you get to sail like this. Beautiful flat conditions. The tide swung around, so we've got the current with us. And yeah, so we've just changed from going another 5 nautical miles to another 18. We're flying along.
You sound like, you almost sound like a sailor, Michael. Like you're enjoying this sail.
Oh, it's nice. Satisfying.
With strict border restrictions in place, our goals of heading to Indonesia or Western Australia were dashed. Luckily for us, we'd hardly scratched the surface of the east coast. Sailing south with northerly winds meant we got to experience all the other sides of the islands we'd hidden behind on the way up, offering an entirely new experience.
We have just arrived in this beautiful anchorage. What is this spot called?
I don't know, it's the southern side of Goldsmith.
Southern side of Goldsmith. Yep, it's just tidying up the boat. Beautiful beach. What a spot for sundowners. One lone little coconut tree on the new wind and wheel tower. Thanks guys. Love this towel. Sand free, quick drying. This is a double, so it's huge. I just use it as a picnic mat. It's bloody awesome. The sand just shakes off it, so we never get anything in the boat. It's so nice that we've decided we're gonna have a fire on the beach. So I'm gonna go back, get a lighter, and let's go. Michael's digging a fire pit by the looks of it. Beautiful spot. What a fire! Oh, it's been so long. This is the one good thing about being back in the land of islands, is that the water's dirty, but we can have campfires or beach fires.
We said that we'd have so many fires when we bought the boat, and we've had hardly any.
We had a good string when we were in this area last time. When we're on the reef, there's just nowhere to have them. Imagine if the water was clear here, it would be
there'd be 30 boats in here though.
We'd never leave. Spuds with all the toppings. Sour cream, chives, shallots.
So good.
By the fire, seaside, which you can't see. The trick for cooking those,
which we learnt from Brian and Linda,
from Drumbeat, is
wrap them in baking paper first.
Wet baking paper.
Wet baking paper, and that just like gives you so much wiggle room in the fire. I'm salivating just thinking about it. So much wiggle room in the fire that just steams them basically and stops them from burning.
They know their time too, but we're pretty bad. We just left them on.
I reckon half an hour in the fire
a while
is a good number.
What do you got there?
This is my little power spotter that I made the other day for the megaphor garlic bread.
Steaks. Oh. Goodbye, nice beach.
Oh.
How good was that?
Oh, so good. Good for the soul.
Tip 20 buckets of water with that tub.
We're super excited to announce that we finally have Popao merch.
Finally found something that we're happy to get out to you guys. So
We've got shirts, tees, we've got tees, jumpers and singlets.
shirts, tees, tops.
Shirts, tees and tops.
Buying some merch is a great way to support the channel.
Yeah, we really appreciate the support.
Special thanks to our patrons out there that have really gone above and beyond and supported us on the next level. Really appreciate it, and hopefully see you in the next video. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Join us next episode as we explore the Percy Islands. Is that a bull? Having uninvited guests turn up in the anchorage. I'm going to take the worst stuff that's decomposing and Michael cooks up one of my favourite meals yet.
Pretty good.
Smells and tastes great.
Possibly one of the better things you've ever cooked, I reckon.
Good boy.
Oh.
You love that, don't
I saw that coming. I was wondering how close I could get. I got the cover on.
I was testing my luck with a moray eel the other day.
Okay, working for the camera. Oh, don't slip.